As I'm sure you all can understand, the coronavirus is something that continues to be something that we are keeping a really close eye on. And with that being the case, it was an issue that came up during last week's Community Council meeting in Eagle River. It was on March 12th, and obviously that's something that we really did talk about, kind of as an update from our Assemblywoman Crystal Kennedy. Some of the information we talked about surprised even me, so by the end of this video you're going to have a pretty good grasp on, or at least a better grasp on what's going on in the municipality when it comes to the coronavirus, and you're also going to have pretty good insights on other issues, because obviously we didn't just talk about the coronavirus. So before we get started though, make sure you give this video a like. There we go. Make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you hit that little bell over there. Make sure you get notifications about any videos like this in the future to keep you updated. Okay, the meeting was on March 12th of last week. Of course, the big issue presented by Assemblywoman Kennedy concerned the Assembly's emergency and special meetings from which she just came. They voted to grant Mayor Berkowitz emergency powers concerning the testing, treating, and quarantining of individuals in the municipality. 1 hour before the Community Council meeting, the Assembly ratified the Mayor's emergency declaration, granting him emergency powers until April 14th. As you all know, all restaurants, bars, gyms, and places of entertainment have been closed as of 5 p.m. on March 16th, the day before this video was filmed, on a mandate by Mayor Berkowitz. According to Berkowitz, from an article in the ADN, by making sacrifices now, we reduce the likelihood that we will pay a larger cost later. These closures are consistent with CDC recommendations and with our strategy of doing what we can to reduce the possibility of transmitting COVID-19. As a friend told me, it will be impossible to know if we overreacted or did too much, but it will be quite apparent if we underreacted and did too little. So the order also bans groups of over 50 from gathering as well. Assemblywoman Kennedy did urge everyone to make sure that you find accurate information as we move forward in this. Obviously, it is very easy to get false information as feelings get high and as we progress along in this. So where does this leave us now? Well, we obviously have the shutdown of all the establishments that we talked about before. And we're just going to keep working through this and see what the next couple weeks has for us. As of the filming of this video, we have 3 cases in Alaska, 1 in Anchorage and 2 up in Fairbanks that just surfaced last night. I've yet to confirm those, but that's what I saw. So where that leaves us now is we need to be alert. Do not panic though. That's a consistent thing where we're seeing across every platform, everyone that's discussing this. It doesn't benefit anyone if we start acting out of emotion. So do not panic. The supply chain is going to be the same coming up to Alaska. There is no, according to Cliff Cook, who cited a post from Port Alaska, there is not going to be any kind of disruption in the chain of transportation from things getting up here for shipping. So there's really no concern about us running short on supplies. So running out to the store and grabbing everything off the shelves, not necessarily going to help right now. What are your thoughts on the orders from the mayor? Is it going too far to shut down all the restaurants, the bars, entertainment, the gyms, and banning any groups of over 50 to gather right now? Leave your comments down in the section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. In other news, Jason Hemphill from the Road Board actually did come up and discuss an issue that's kind of been brought up in the community recently, primarily concerning the large berms that we have on our streets after the roads have been plowed. Now in Eagle River, we're actually very lucky because we actually get all of our roads plowed 12 to 16 hours after the snow has fallen, and the roads are awesome, okay? Typically, the snow, we'll have a snowfall at night, and by the time I get up in the morning, it's already gone. That's awesome. Now, the one drawback is berms, in other words, all the snow that gets pushed to the side of the road, is obviously going to be right there in your driveway. So he did discuss what it would take to make that part of their snow removal process, to where they can actually go and remove that snow and get rid of the berms. Currently, it costs $21,000 approximately every time it snows to have the current process that we have in place completed. And if we were to have the snow berms removed without keeping the same timeline, it'd be roughly $50,000. If we got the equipment we would need to keep it to within that 12 to 16 hour time frame after the snow falls, we'd be looking closer to about $58,000 each time it snows. So that being the case, everyone in attendance agreed, yeah, we got it pretty good. $21,000 works just fine. We'll shovel the snow berms. Cliff Cook from the Eagle River Community Patrol highly urges people to report any kind of petty crimes to APD. You can either call the dispatch at 311 if it is an emergency, call 911, but reserve that for emergencies. Why this is important is that going on social media and complaining about petty crimes is not going to do any good. APD can't really use that in their reporting and deciding where they're going to be sending cop cars and where to allocate resources. So make sure you call dispatch and make sure that you fill out a report if you do see any kind of petty crime. So anything that is happening does get reported and will actually count towards allocation of resources with APD. Moving on to the election that's going to be in April, Bob French came and spoke about Prop 12. Essentially what this is the Assembly right now has got 11 members, which means that one of our districts has just one Assembly member to represent them. He presented the case that this really does kind of leave that district at a disadvantage when it comes to representation, because if that person falls ill or if they are out of town for whatever reason, then essentially that district is up a creek without a paddle, essentially is what it is. Originally it was meant to be a rotating one-member district, but that has not really been rotated for really decades at this point. So the argument is that we should just move to a two assembly member per district plan instead of this rotating one district plan. So look for that on the upcoming ballot during the election. Speaking of elections, the ballots for that are going to be mailed out on March 17th, one day after the filming of this video. It's going to be 2 pages, okay? So there's going to be lots of stuff on there. Make sure that you are researched and you kind of know the issues that they're going to be talking about. If you do have any questions, feel free to refer to any of the community council minutes to kind of get a feel for what they are. And make sure you research on this stuff. When you are mailing the ballot back, if you are mailing it, make sure you use 2 stamps, just to be on the safe side, to make sure that it gets to where you need it to go. Finally, representatives from Good Cannabis attended the meeting and requested to be put on the agenda for next month's community council meeting. Thank you for watching. If this has been useful, make sure that you give this video a like, you subscribe to my channel so you can receive more information like this on a monthly basis to make sure that you are staying up to date with what is going on in the local area. And make sure if you have any real estate questions, as always, make sure that you reach out to me directly, either through this channel or through my website in the description section down below.